If you're like me, you find it difficult to faithfully live out your life in this increasingly post-Christian society. The media inundates us with the message that the only true measure of success is to live the life of the rich and famous. Our senses are overloaded with the sordid details of the antics of the immoral politicians and the value-challenged celebrities and the swindlers. We know them intimately on a first-name basis. Tiger, Bernie, Elliot, The Situation, Snooki, to name a few. We've also lost trust in our institutions. The recent flash crash, AIG, Lehman Brothers, Enron, the list goes on. And at home, we find it increasingly difficult to faithfully live out our lives and serve our family. The 24/7 pressures of work, the misplaced dreams, the internet-related distractions and temptations. The question of how do you and how do I live a life of significance seems at first glance to be hopelessly naive and even an eccentric pursuit. During this past decade, I've become consumed with understanding and writing about what it means for you and for me as both sinners and saints to live a Christ-filled life. And how do we discover that life that God has called us to live? And if in fact we do discover this life, will you and I actually have the courage to live out such a life in our increasingly post-Christian world? So allow me to share with you just a few of the insights that I have learned during this spirit-filled journey that I believe are worth sharing. What I have learned is that it is our Christian faith that provides us with the unique advantage. When our relationship with God is strong, we intuitively understand that it is our faith that influences the intensity of our daily living. When our faith is strong, we're able to go beyond our ego. When our faith is strong, we're able to go beyond ourselves in ways that no other energy can provide. And when our faith is strong, we're no longer constrained to be successful in this world. Instead, we have the opportunity to be significant. And when our faith is strong, it no longer matters what we do. What matters is how we live our life. When our faith is strong, we understand that significance comes from preferring others over oneself. And when our faith is strong, it's really the daily routines that we call life that actually become our most significant. We gain deep satisfaction living out our life in a myriad of unsexy ways, day in and day out, over and over, knowing that this is how we are to live in this particular moment. Being the carpool mom, coaching our son's baseball team, serving as a mentor, doing our job well, spending the night in the hospital caring for a friend, building a well in Ethiopia, bringing our spouse a cup of coffee. And we discover that every activity is significant and even intrinsically rewarding in itself. And what I've learned is that as we reduce our own ego and focus instead on the needs of the world, we will discover that doors magically open, chance meetings occur, and that we become stronger and wiser beyond our wildest dreams. And what I've learned is that each day we wake up forgiven and begin a brand new story. It's one of service, it's one marked by intensity and integrity, remembering that the only narrative that matters is how well we serve those that we encounter. And what I've learned is to also pay attention to the times of suffering and hardship and disappointed, because these are also God-given opportunities to discover a new purpose in our lives, and in the words of Martin Luther, to work out the salvation in our lives. And what I've learned is that living a life of significance is never a destination, but rather it's an ongoing journey as we disown ourselves and follow Christ's calling within us. And what I've learned is that as Christians, we get the opportunity to live with the confidence that death indeed has lost its sting, and grasping both the futility and the eternal significance of our lives, we comprehend that it is how we live each day, not what we do, that truly matters. And finally, what I've come to deeply respect and sometimes even fear is the immense power that we possess when we become bold in our faith and our actions. And I believe in the power of this room, that individually and collectively we can make a difference in the lives that God has placed in our paths. And so it's my prayer that you will intentionally and purposely harness this power as you day in and day out serve those that God has placed in your path and live your own life of significance. Thank you, and God bless.